The sole purpose of this video is to provide a basic overview and orientation of your new apparatus. This video is not intended to act as or replace individualized driver-operator training. Individual fire departments may base guidelines, policies, and procedures tailored for best practices. Pierce Manufacturing and Hughes Fire Equipment representatives are not liable for injuries caused from acts resulting from actions inconsistent with the information provided within this video and/or accompanying manuals. Refer to the Operation and Maintenance Manual for complete details relating to the components and features of this apparatus. Only trained personnel should operate this vehicle or perform maintenance. You are responsible for learning how to operate this fire apparatus under all conditions without having to refer to the manual while operating at an emergency incident. This video will discuss types of warnings and caution labels. It is your responsibility to locate and identify each of the labels and understand the importance and associated hazards. Warning labels will point out procedure that must be taken or action that must be avoided to guard against the possibility of serious injury or death. Caution labels will advise you that there is a risk of damage to property if certain precautions are not followed. Continuous training, reviewing of operation and service manuals, developing good standardized practices will assist driver operators with a more complete understanding of the components and operation of this fire apparatus. As the driver operator of this vehicle, you are responsible for understanding the function of each component of the apparatus, maintaining control of the fire apparatus at all times while in operation. Make operational and functional changes while operating at an emergency without having to read operator's instructions or safety warning labels. Operate manual override and emergency shutdown procedures immediately if a component fails to operate properly. Components location may vary with each Pierce fire apparatus. Review the exact location of each component prior to operation. Major inconsistencies between your vehicle and the information contained in this video should be directed to your sales representative. Safe operation of any vehicle is the responsibility of the driver operator. You must learn the location and function of all controls, switches, gauges, valves, inlets, and discharges. Due to a higher center of gravity, heavy trucks have a significantly higher rollover tendency than other types of vehicles. To reduce the risk of rollover, avoid making sharp turns, excessive speed, and avoid abrupt maneuvers. In the event of a rollover crash, an unbelted person is significantly more likely to become injured or die than a person wearing a seatbelt. In the event of a crash, unbuckled occupants can also become a hazard to other occupants, as they may be thrown around inside the cab. Seatbelts are required while in operation. Please refer to your warranty certificates for details and information enclosed in your manuals. Customer-installed equipment must be mounted to withstand road travel and comply with NFPA 1901. Modifications such as drilling holes or welding to structural frame components of the chassis are not permitted. Contact Pierce for instruction and review of non-structural sheet metal or other dissimilar metals for modification. Follow the radio installation guide for further assistance on installing or mounting electronics. Before placing your new apparatus into service, perform a primary inspection of key components of the apparatus, including all fluid levels, anti-lock braking systems, electronic stability control, and automatic traction control. Weigh your apparatus to ensure that it conforms to axle and brake ratings. Never exceed the gross axle rating printed on the label inside the cab. Exceeding these ratings could lead to reduced component life, personal injury, or death. Review the use of auxiliary braking systems, compression brake, exhaust brake, electronic retarder, and hydraulic retarder. Before placing the apparatus in service, refer to the operational maintenance manuals. Information on the operation and maintenance functions for the components such as the pump, pressure governor, and foam systems, along with other options, is provided in either the Pierce manuals and/or other manufacturer support information delivered with the apparatus. If you need more information, please contact Hughes Fire Equipment. Congratulations, Bellingham, Washington, on your new fire apparatus, job number 31376. Please utilize this job number when referencing your new apparatus with Hughes Fire Equipment and Pierce Manufacturing. Let's get started on a brief orientation of your new apparatus. On the side and corner of your front bumper, you'll find lights and emergency warning lights. Located on the passenger side cutout on the front face of the bumper, you'll find a forward-facing large diameter intake. Moving just inward of that location, you'll find dual air horns, and located in the center on the face of the bumper, you'll find your electronic siren public announcement speaker. Moving up onto the actual bumper itself, you're going to find two attachment points. Located in the center, you'll find a tubbed storage location for hose. And moving over to the driver's side, additional tub storage for hose. And at the very far driver's side, you'll find a swivel 1.5" discharge. Let's move up onto the body. You'll find on the side a marker and turn indicator. Moving just inward of that location into the headlight cluster, high beams are on the inner section and the low beams are on the outer portion. Moving up from that, the next cluster up is going to be an emergency warning light cluster with red and white lights. Moving up to the left mirror and right mirror, you'll find a convex mirror and also a flat portion mirror. You'll also find a driver assist front mirror, concave at the very top. Located in the brow of the apparatus, you're going to find your running lights. Moving up from that location in the center, forward-facing floodlight. Moving all the way up onto the roof of the apparatus, you're going to find your emergency light bar. Difficult to see in this image, although in the center of that emergency light bar, you'll find your opticom. Let's go ahead and take a look at some of those images close up in the areas that we just talked about. First, starting with the cutout section here of your large diameter intake. We'll now move to the center section. Take a look at the tub storage location here. And then we'll move all the way over to the driver's side, an additional tub storage, and also that discharge swivel. Let's go ahead and take a look at the side of the bumper to show and reveal the lights on the side and also on the 45 degree. And now we'll move up to the cluster of the headlight and emergency lights. Looking overhead on your seamless one-piece windshield, there are 3 windshield wipers. We'll now move to the driver's area. We're now entering the driver's seat section. You have a step light in addition with an air inlet and also a shore inlet 120 VAC 20 amp plug. We'll go ahead and take a look at the side of the apparatus. We'll talk about this midsection next, starting up in the left-hand corner where your cross lays are located, and then we'll break down the individual components of each of these devices on the pump panel. Let's first start in the very top section left. You'll find the release mechanism here. By pulling the strap, we'll release the mechanism to access your cross lays. Just beneath that, you'll find an additional discharge in orange. We move all the way to the top center. You'll find a grab handle. In addition, with the grab handle, just slightly to the right of that, all the way down this side, you're going to find fold down steps. Also, you'll find work lights and step lights. Let's go ahead and take it the cross lane number 1. As you can see, it's in orange, which will coincide with the individual valve associated with that cross lay. We'll cover those in the next set of images here. Let's go ahead and move all the way over to the right, just underneath the lights here. This is going to be your Pierce maintenance schedule for 150, 200, and 250 psi at a governed speed of 2,400. The RPMs for those test pressures are on the right, and the associated GPMs are on the left. Let's go ahead and take a look now at the panel itself. We're going to find at the very top, just beneath the Pierce logo, these are the vacuum and pressure test ports. And on the very far left, because there is hose coming out of that side section, you're going to find an entanglement warning. And you're also going to find the 2 large gauge for your pump intake and also your pump discharge. Starting with the light switches on the right, this is your panel light. Just down from that, you'll find a front flood, driver's side flood, passenger side flood, and also a rear flood. Let's go ahead and move now just down from this location. Once again, cross lane number 1 in orange coincides with the cross lay at the location where the hose attaches. Moving to the right, these are going to be both turn, not pull style. This is your recirculating line, and the other is your engine cooler. Moving down from that location, this is going to be your intake relief valve, the adjustments for it, and also the regulated pressure. You're also going to find an indicator here regarding the open and close of that device. Just beneath that, you'll find an audible alarm. Moving to the right, you'll find your number 1 driver's side discharge. This is brown in color. And then we'll go ahead and look up from this location to the green section here. This is your passenger discharge. We'll move all the way across these discharges now. Once again, color coded, cross lay number 2 in yellow. Your front discharge, which we've already seen, this is going to be in the blue color. Moving to the right, this is going to be the driver's rear. This is a 2.5-inch discharge off the rear of the apparatus. And then this is going to be your red line or booster line reel discharge. To the right, you're going to find your passenger side 2.5 also, and that's going to be in white. And as we move to the right, this is your Pierce throttle control pressure governor. And in that same module, you'll find your water tank level indicator. And then just down from that, you'll also find the throttle control and idle button. Let's move all the way to the other side. Once again in green, passenger side discharge. Moving to the center here, you're going to find your deluge discharge. It's in a reddish color. And then you'll also find, once again, a twist, not a pull. This is the real blowout. Looking to the right, once again, this round black device is an audible speaker. It does have control of dampening. And you'll find your tank fill in black. And beneath that, all the way to the right, is your tank to pump. This is going to be your front intake primer, push to prime, and then your primer for your fire pump. There is a note in between both of those regarding a minimum of 1,000 to operate those two primers. Let's go ahead and move all the way to the very far right. Once again, tank to pump. And then we'll look at the very bottom here. This is a warning label regarding pressurized caps and the associated hazards while removing those caps under pressure. As we look at your Pierce throttle governor here, you'll find a check engine light in the upper left and also a stop engine on the right. And then as you move further down, you're going to find your control module. As we move further down from that same location, purple, number 3, driver's side discharge. And we'll also find some additional warning labels, and then we'll talk about what's behind this access door in the next set of images. Here's a close-up here of those priming instructions here for the minimum 1,000 RPMs. And now let's take a look at some close-ups here. Let's move all the way down to the far left-hand side, 2.5-inch auxiliary side driver's inlet. As we move to the right, you'll find the light that's currently lit. This is going to be your master intake, open and close. In the center, you'll find your large diameter intake. It's the Pierce American flag eagle logo. And as we look across the bottom, you can see there's a variety of different associated drains, color-coded and also labeled. This is going to provide you pump access behind the panel itself. As we look to the right-hand side, we're going to find a variety of different controls here. First, these are turns, not pulls, air supply, and reel discharge. You have an air outlet and also a pump drain. Underneath this location, you'll find your foot pedal for the reel rewind. And then as we look just to the rear of this section, in front and in rear of the rear tire, you'll find your folding wheel chock storage locations. General view here of the side of your apparatus. Let's first start on the roll-up compartment door here, compartment number 1. We'll look at the very top. This is going to be the control module where you plug in to gain access to your overhead light. This is going to be your Welbert light, which is on top of the apparatus. The red is the reset and emergency stop switch, and the controls are located just beneath that. This is the location where it plugs in. As we look
Just in front of the rear wheels, you'll find bottle storage locations for SCBA bottles and also straps. As we move to the rear section, you'll find bottle storage in addition with these two locations for DEF and diesel. Blue cap is your DEF and the silver cap is your diesel. And you can see on the left here, this is going to be an indicator for the amount of DEF in the DEF tank. To gain access to fill that DEF, all you do is simply pull down that latch and that'll gain access to the blue cap, which you'll see in the next image here, 4.5 US gallons, and this is once again blue for DEF. As we look over the midsection of the apparatus, you'll find adjustable shelving and LED lighting in all of the compartments. Let's look to the rear. Once again, adjustable shelf in a fixed location and also LED lighting. Let's look to the rear of the apparatus now. Let's first start with this cluster, brake, turn, and reverse lights. Moving up from that location, equally on the other side is your emergency light. Moving up from that, we have a couple of switches. We'll talk about those in the next set of images, but let's move all the way up to the top. You can see you have an amber light and also at the very top, a rear-facing floodlight. Moving down from that location, you can see that you have fold down steps on both the right and left side of the apparatus in the rear. And then as we move up, you'll see the grab handles on the left and right hand side and at the base of the hose bed. Looking across, you'll find this is the rear discharge, 2.5 inch. And then as we move across the right, you're going to find a couple of warning labels here regarding, once again, pressurized cap and the writing on the rear of the apparatus while it's in motion. Located directly in the center is your backup reverse camera. And as we look all the way to the far right in this compartment with the access door, this is going to be ladder storage and long tools. Also, you have on the rear of the apparatus an indicator here for the amount of onboard water in your tank. These are the two switches, rear flood and hose bed lights. Moving up from this location, once again, rear discharge, 2.5 inch. Let's take a look inside the hose bed area, removable or movable hose bed storage dividers. In the center, you'll find your backup camera. And as we gain access into the two doors here, we'll find a pull-out shelf at the very bottom and also a pull-out style shelf midsection. Looking at the ladders, there's a 24-foot roof, 24-foot extension and a 14-foot roof. You also have a variety of long tools. Looking on the left and right-hand side, you have additional long storage here. And then here's a close-up of, once again, your water tank level indicator. Generalized view here of the side of the apparatus. We're going to cover the compartments moving down the passenger side of the vehicle next. First, let's start in the rear. You're going to find two adjustable shelves that are currently fixed. LED lighting, once again, inside that roll-up compartment. In the center, same thing, an adjustable shelf and also LED lighting. We'll talk about those access doors just beneath that. First, in this side, you're going to find a single storage location for bottle storage or SCBA storage. And moving forward, additional bottle storage. This has a divider in addition with safety straps. Let's take a look right down in the same area, but just beneath that, you're going to find this marker light turn indicator. Just beneath that, you're going to find your diesel exhaust extraction system attachment point. And then just beneath that, very important, a indicator regarding extremely hot diesel exhaust temperatures, and be cautious as to where you park your vehicle. Moving to the right midsection of your apparatus, this is going to be the offside or passenger side discharge, 2.5 inch, large diameter discharge. And then as we move down, you'll find the Pierce American flag Eagle. This is your large diameter intake. There are also some items here we'll cover. First, number 2 crosslay. That's going to be in yellow. As we move down, once again, large diameter discharge and also that warning label regarding always open caps slowly and be cautious as they may be under pressure. This is going to be your passenger side 2.5 inch discharge. And as we look across the very bottom of the apparatus in the midsection, you're going to find drains associated with those individual lines. For example, the passenger side 2.5 and also the primer drain. Moving to the right, you're going to find passenger 5-inch discharge drain and also the number 2 crosslay drain. Looking behind that access door, if we look just inside the access door On the left-hand side, this is the location where you're going to find your override switch. It's clearly identified and marked. And then let's pull back out and look at the side here of the pump panel. This is going to be your cab lift. As you can see, there's a protected switch here for raising and lower. Some instructions on the right-hand side, and also caution and danger hazards. Activate switch is on the right-hand side. Let's move under this location, and you're going to find the same as you did on the opposite side, a foot pedal for the real rewind. And then just forward of this location toward the front of the vehicle, this is going to be the manifold drain. This is a pull to drain. Let's go ahead and take a look at the crosslay section here. Since it's a little bit easier to see, you can see in the upper top grab handle also some work lights, but there's a small chrome door here. This is going to be for board storage, and you can access it from the passenger side or the driver's side. Also located on this side, through compartment for your crosslays or speed loads. And as we move up onto the very top of the apparatus, you're going to find the black cover here. This is your water fill. And then as you move forward, you have a forward-facing, rear-facing work lights. This is just with the lid in the open position with a strainer on the inside. And then as we look to the top, you'll see on the diamond plate, perimeter taping here, reflective to assist in firefighter safety so they know where the edge of the material is prior to stepping off. In the upper section mid area, you're going to find your booster line and also your master stream device. Close up here of the master stream device, it does have an extended ability to raise that master stream device higher than it currently is. Just a simple image here of the booster line. This is a 3/4 inch booster line. And as we look to the front cab of the area, black as you'll see the color, you'll find 2 warning labels regarding the stepping on the cab area. And then in the very front, your light bar and also your overhead mast light. Let's go ahead and look inside the cab of the apparatus. This is the rear section. You'll find 2 bottle storage locations here for your SCBA seats. They are fold-up seats. And then as we look inside, you also have mounted in the center additional compartment space. There is also lighting within this compartment here behind the netting. You can see the compartment light there at the very top. And then you can see the 4 buckles to gain access into this compartment also. There is adjustable shelves inside. In between those 2 fold-up seats, you'll find access for your oil and transmission for your daily checks. And then let's just look up from this location. You're going to find the auto charger when plugged into shore power. And also on the right-hand side, this is your air compressor to maintain air for your brakes. Those are also plugged into shore power. Just up from that location, you'll find mounted on the wall here, you're going to find shore power access, 20 amps. We're looking overhead now, air conditioning unit, and also your headsets, push on, push off red and white lights. And then let's go ahead and look at the door. At all points of entry on all doors, you'll find additional warning and hazard labels and also reflective tape. Located in the center of the pull handle is a lock for your locking mechanism for your door. Let's go ahead and take a look inside the door itself. This is going to be your auto charger just beneath the operator's seat. And this yellow label here is your Bellingham Fire Department. This is date of manufacture, February of 2018. Your job number, 31376. Also on this yellow placard, you'll find your gross vehicle weight ratings, cold tire inflation, and also the VIN number. The VIN number is also located on this yellow tag and also on the A-pillar of the driver's section. Just beneath that, you're going to find fluid capacities for the components and fluid capacity types and fluid types. About knee height to the operator, you're going to find this red switch. This is your master battery switch. And just beneath that, you'll find your mechanical siren foot pedal. Let's go back up and take a look at some of the components in that same area. Battery switch in red. You have a tech module plug-in, your engine, transmission, ABS diagnostic port. And then you have the switches across the bottom, which are ABS diagnostics, DPF regen, engine diagnostic, and regen inhibit, and also a port for the display. Moving up from that location just to the about knee height area, you're going to find your cab locks not engaged. You're going to find an auto start, a backup alarm override, a future location, load manager, and a siren brake. That's the red switch. Moving just to the opposite side of the console, you're going to find your road to pump and pump to road. This is your pump shift. You'll also find 2 lights, one pump engaged and the other okay to pump. Those are both green indicators when lit. Moving up from this location back onto the opposite side of the steering wheel, left-hand side, you're going to find your ignition and start switch. You're also going to find your headlight control and also panel lights for brightening and dimming those panel lights. And then you'll find here this EM switch. This is the emergency master, which will turn on your emergency overhead lights. Let's go ahead and take a look. Pull for your flash and right and left turn. Looking at the dash console, you're going to find on the left-hand side your transmission oil, DEF level, and water temperature. In the center, you'll find your tachometer and speedometer. Located above and below the tachometer and speedometer, you'll find additional light-up information. And on the very far right-hand side, you're going to find your volts, fuel, front and rear air. Down onto the steering wheel itself, you're going to find controls on your steering wheel for siren control, air horn, and lights. Located on the right-hand side, you'll find additional controls, windshield wiper, and also emergency lights. But located in the center, your vehicle is equipped with a supplemental restraint system. This is an airbag located inside. Located on the dash, you're going to find your Pierce Command Center. This is a tremendous amount of information here right at your fingertips, and you can scroll through those modules as you choose. Just to the right of that, you're going to find your windshield wiper controls and also push to apply fluid to the front windshield. You're going to find your heating and air conditioning, climate control for heat and defrost, heat and AC. Looking at the center area, first we're going to find the triangle yellow diamond, pull to apply system parking brake, and push to release. To the right, you'll find your Allison transmission pad with an indicator to pump in drive. As we move from left to right, you're going to find your engine brake. There's an on-off switch, your engine brake for high, medium, and low. You also have an auto start, perimeter lighting, a protected tire change switch, and also an off-road traction. Let's look overhead of the operator next. You're going to find this yellow placard. This is indicating the height of your vehicle, 10 feet 0 inches, length 30 feet 4.78 inches, and gross vehicle weight rating at 42,000 pounds. Just to the right of this location, we're going to find some additional overhead switches. Let's talk about those next. Here's a general overhead view of that area. Let's go ahead and break down those switches individually. In red, you'll find your emergency master. Moving to the right, roof light, front warning, side warnings. On the next section down, you're going to find your lower rear warning, upper rear warning, a high beam flash, and then to the right, your Opticom. There's another set of switches here. Let's talk about those. You have a front flood, driver side flood, passenger side flood, and the rear flood. You also have additional lighting underneath, your rear flash, side scene, and also rear scene. Over to the right, you're going to find your traffic advisor. It has a left, right, split, and flash. It has indicator lights and also the power on for low, off, and high. Let's move even further to the right. You're going to find your siren PA control system. It also has a siren and a horn. It also has controls here for radio, manual, whale, yelp, and high-low, and then also volume or gain control. This is your VIN number located on the A pillar. As we look overhead, you'll find the rope, which is the pull for your air horns. And then as you can see, push on, push off red and white lights, depending on the type you'd like. And then also your headsets mounted up high onto the ceiling area. Let's go ahead and move all the way over to the passenger seat. We might find a few of these warning labels. These are going to be spare wire behind the panels, and those are kind of a white candy cane style label here. As we move to the left, you're going to find your FireComm system. This is the main control for your FireComm. And then just underneath the FireComm system here is where you'll find the wireless base for your FireComm system. Let's go ahead and move all the way over to the right-hand side of the apparatus. You're going to find your front flood, driver side flood, passenger side flood, rear flood, side scene, 2 future locations if you need to add additional switches, and also a switch for your clear roof. Let's go ahead and take a look overhead of the passenger and driver. You'll see once again climate control at the very top, push on and push off red and white lights. Let's move to the back section of your apparatus. You'll see the 2 fold down seats that have SCBAs, and then also an additional seat on the passenger side, fold down in the rear. In the passenger seat, you're going to find your air horn and mechanical siren foot pedals. Just to the right knee area of the passenger, you'll find the fill location for your windshield wipers. And just up from this windshield wipers location, you're going to find an additional parking brake. This is push to apply and pull to release. Moving to the center, you're going to find a push siren brake, also 12-volt access. This is USB style 12-volt access. Congratulations, Bellingham, Washington, on your new fire apparatus, job number 31376. If you have any questions regarding this video or any questions regarding your apparatus, please contact your Hughes Fire sales representative. Thank you and congratulations.